Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Mishal Saeed, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and really the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're thrilled to have Melanie Koerperich, the founder and CEO of Milrich Virtual Professionals, joining us. With over 35 years of experience in business organization and leadership, Melanie has built a US-based virtual assistance firm that empowers small businesses and entrepreneurs by handling everything from scheduling to marketing while creating meaningful work-from-home opportunities for veterans, parents, and so many other niches. We'll explore her founding story, really how Milrich Virtual Professionals is transforming business operations, and what her vision looks like for scaling this mission-driven firm. So with that being said, let's dive in. Melanie, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Amazing. Absolutely thrilled to have you on. So take us back to the beginning. What inspired you to launch the company?
So it's a very interesting story. I was actually let go from a position that I really loved.
Hmm.
And it was at that time that I swore that I was never going to pour my heart and soul into something unless it was my own. And so I started exploring work from home opportunities. And back then, there weren't a whole lot.
Hmm.
So I had advertised my services on a platform called Elance way back when. And I got a client, and interestingly enough, that client told two friends, who told two friends, who told two friends. And it got to the point, and on an aside there, that second iteration, that second generation, those clients are still with me today, all the way back. But it got to the point where it grew so much that it was more than just one person can handle.
Okay.
And so I said, you know what? Let's take my passion and expand that and start maybe offering this opportunity to other individuals.
Hmm.
And so I started hiring a few people. And as that grew, we hired more people. And as that grew, we brought on even more people to the point now where we have over 55 team members and over 200 clients.
Incredible. Congratulations on that success. And here you are today sharing your story. So let's dive a little bit deeper. As far as the core offer goes, what is that? We do have an idea of obviously your industry being the VA space. Talk to us a
Sure.
little bit about the core offer. How do you structure it for some of the clients you work with? And then who is your ideal client to begin with?
Absolutely. So the wonderful thing about us is we are extremely flexible to our clients' needs. So when you come on board with us, you are not locked into anything, any major contract.
Mhm.
You're not locked into having to come up with 5 hours each week or 10 hours each week for your assistant to do. So we have that flexibility. Like I have some clients who literally only work with us for a half hour to an hour a month. And we have other clients who utilize us for 160 hours a week, where we have 4 full-time people maybe working for them. We cover an entire back office support. So we are that fractional support for any client, any small business owner or solopreneur that's looking for that additional back office support. So we're looking for that owner that's wearing multiple hats. And our tagline, our trademark tagline is let us do what we love so you can do what you love. And so we can provide support from administrative to marketing to accounting to scheduling to HR services and allow the clients then to focus on what they do best.
Incredible. Yeah. Taking the load off of the busy day-to-day life of an entrepreneur and a founder and giving them the systems in place so that they can succeed. As far as like scaling goes, like what does that vision look like for you? Are you looking to really scale this, productize your offer in a way, especially with fractional, right? I mean, it's probably having to involve hiring more staff members to keep up with that demand. How are you approaching that going into this year? Are you looking at productization or keeping this more like tight knit? What's your perspective?
Absolutely. So we're always looking to scale and growth. One of the nice things about the Commonwealth of Virginia is that their small business development division offers a scaling for growth platform for businesses and entrepreneurs. And so I took advantage of that in 2020. I was one of the cohort, I was cohort 9 for them. And that really showed me how I can scale our business and grow. So I've taken that information and we have a lot of systems in place so that we can plug in as needed. We actually have a waiting list of people that want to work for our company. And at this point, we're working on sales for clients or with clients to grow that. And as we expand our client base and our client knowledge and our offerings, that allows us to scale as well. Additionally, we are offering digital courses. We're offering courses to VAs, how to work as a VA, something simple. We do an MVP summer camp every year where we teach VAs how to become the best VA possible. We also have courses for people who are looking for VAs. So we have how to find, hire, and work with virtual assistants. And if it's not my company, that's fine. We kind of walk you through what you need to look for when hiring a virtual assistant company.
Incredible. So you've diversified a lot on the offer side. You're also looking at packaging a lot of your IP from what it sounds like to teach other VAs how to essentially, people want to get into the space, how to be VAs, which is pretty cool. Is that what you're also looking at as like an owner, as a founder, scaling that on the consulting side, focusing on coaching? What's your thought there?
Yes. So we do have an offer on our website where I will work with either a client or a VA one-on-one
Mm,
for either quarterly or annually
mm,
to either one, help them from a client side, help them to scale, help them to grow, help them to brainstorm. And then on the VA side, helping them hone their skills and what they need. It falls back to one of the things that I did back at that original company that I mentioned that I worked at that I loved, that I was let go from. I had actually created a council for administrative assistants.
mhm,
I was one of the handful of executive assistants at the time at this organization, and the rest were all different levels below.
mm,
So I created a council for the administrative assistants to be able, for the executive level, to be able to help support and grow those of us in junior or those people who were in junior positions.
mm.
And it was also like that passion that led me to create the company as well. So it's always been something that I've been doing just even in different roles, is doing that supportive mentorship.
I love that. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Especially there's social good attached to that, giving back into the world apart from it being a business. And it looks like, from what it sounds like, multifaceted offers, very diverse across that board. Now, on the back end of the business, how are you generating leads right now for the VA side of the business, as far as like reaching out to some of those small business owners, some of those SMBs? What's working well there, whether it's referrals, paid ads, social, organic, cold outreach? What's been your perspective on that?
Sure. So my company is expanding its sales team. So we currently have 3 people on our sales team who are doing outreach to our clients. I'd actually like to give a little shout out to Grant Cardone at this point
Hmm,
because we are doing his 10X program.
okay.
And I've enrolled my entire sales and marketing team in that to help expand their sales knowledge. And so every day we do a sales huddle, and every day they are kind of 10xing their work that they're doing in their outreach. And we have seen, since we've actually started this, we have seen an 18% increase in our lead generation and our closing. So that has been a phenomenal experience for us.
That's incredible. Grant's actually one of our clients, which is so interesting how you mentioned him. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. He's probably taken some of our principles as well and he's incorporated into 10X, which is awesome. So, on the lead gen side of things, what is the main channel through which you're working through right now? Is it LinkedIn, social? Because I know you talked a little bit about the program. What does that look
Sure.
like as lead gen?
Our marketing team is on all the platforms. So we're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, and X, and Threads. So you can find us there. And we do a variety of information. So we have people, or we have posts for the scheduling side of things, we have posts for the VA side of things, and then we have posts geared toward VAs.
Mm.
Our information covers the whole scope there. We also do monthly newsletters to our prospects and to our clients, and then we do physical call outreach to our clients, identified typically through LinkedIn or referrals. Referrals for us is actually one of our most robust driver of sales and leads, rather. In fact, today, right before this call, I just got off a sales call with another referral. And to me, that's a testament of the hard work that we do for our clients. Is that they love the work that we do so much that they're willing to refer us to their friends.
Yeah.
And that was the foundation that my company was built on. And that's also the same foundation that my company is growing on.
I love that. I actually want to get your thoughts on this, especially with referrals. It's something we talk a lot about on the podcast where they're very powerful, but sometimes there's inconsistency or can be unpredictable, right? Especially when you don't know when the next referral is going to come in. What's like your thoughts around building a predictable lead gen system in place, looking at paid ads? Is that sort of the next step for you as like a founder as you're looking at scale and growth and creating that engine in place?
Yes. So, in addition to, we have dabbled in paid ads over the past. And for one reason or another, they usually don't generate a whole lot for us. So, we have to revisit that. So, we have a new marketing director on board who is more versed in this area. So, he is completely redoing our marketing strategy for the second half of the year and then looking toward 2026. Another thing we're going to start doing is more videos, really growing the YouTube channel with shorts
Mm.
and paid content as well, just to be able to get our message across to more people.
Yeah, I love the fact that short form content, we've worked with so many clients and we've seen that's going to be the way in which you're going to be able to create that visibility and that top of funnel awareness. And especially with paid ads, right? The messaging is so key and niching down in a vertical to where you can start to see that ROI essentially at the end of the day with your ad spend. So really targeting a specific ICP. Have you thought about niching down, just curious, into a specific vertical or an industry so that you can get paid ads to work?
So that's a great question. So, with regards to the niching down, our ads typically will focus on one aspect of the services that we offered. And a lot of times it's preached as the riches are in the niches. However, our foundation is being that complete back office support for clients. So if we were to just focus on admin, like for me, I feel like we're leaving so many areas on the table
Yeah.
that we can provide that client that service for. Because
Mm.
every client that comes on board with us gets a complimentary project manager. Not
Mm.
many companies do that. So they have the complimentary project manager that they can brainstorm with and that can help them see other areas in which to utilize our services. Another thing that actually sets us apart is our mentorship and our coaching support for our team members. And I know I'm digressing from the question about paid leads, but it's our leads will be very nuanced. However, I don't really have an interest on just creating that one little focus for our company.
Okay, got it. So on the paid ad side of things, we're finding that that's the next step. And it's great to hear that you're bringing that in-house, especially because a lot of coaches, consultants, agencies, they look at outsourcing their marketing, and that can be oftentimes like a very cookie cutter approach. I think this, you saying this on our podcast, it resonates with our audience because the listeners are going to understand that yes, bringing it in-house is definitely the way to go so that you can keep everything tight knit and you can keep iterating that process, right, with your team without relying on an agency. I know you talked about the sales process a little bit earlier on. What does that look like right now? Are you like the main closer doing the sales calls? Do you have other closers, other setters in place? How is all of that structured?
So typically, someone will work with the same person kind of start to finish.
Hmm.
So we have different people are focusing on different types of calls. So, for instance, if you're interested in VA services, chances are you're going to talk to me on
Hmm.
that sales call through the end. If you're looking for a scheduling service, chances are you're going to talk to either Amanda or Dana. If you're a financial advisor who's looking for someone, chances are you're going to speak with our chief engagement officer, sales/salesperson, Antoinette. So we do have the different areas in which people can book with us, and we kind of nuance that down a little bit.
Amazing. So you're in the day to day as a founder, still having those conversations. As you're looking at scale and growth, I'd love for you to share what that next step is, because I know you mentioned expansion. Are you expanding the sales team, bringing more closers, more setters? Walk us through what that picture looks like for this year.
Absolutely. So I'm super excited that our sales team is growing because typically there's been one person. It's just been there.
Yeah.
Ever since starting the 10X program, like we've expanded that. There's now 3 plus myself, so there's 4 of us. Our marketing person is working in concert with the sales team, whereas in the past we've operated in silos, which smacking my head, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
So now they're working together to create collaborative campaigns.
Mm.
And I am looking to promote one of the members from our sales team into a chief sales officer role and start having more salespeople underneath her. And that's one of the things is we do like to promote from within. People on our team do have opportunities for advancement from where they start. In
Mhm.
fact, my COO started as a scheduler with us
Mm.
10 years ago. In fact, tomorrow is her 10th anniversary with us. So,
Amazing.
yeah, so we do definitely like to promote and raise up from within.
I love that. Yeah, no, really just bringing your people up from a fulfillment standpoint, they have that understanding. They're able to leverage that in those sales conversations up front. And is that the goal really as a founder so that you can step away from that role, focus on some of the founder level activities essentially?
Absolutely. I currently also work with clients, but I have limited my work with clients so that I can start doing more networking, more speaking to other individuals, and to really promoting the business
Yeah,
from a founder standpoint, so much as working on the business instead of in the business.
yeah.
And there is one thing that I do want to discuss, and I'm not sure if it's going to come up, so I'm just going to throw it out there. But as a founder, or as a founder and a person who employs other individuals and works remotely, we do our 1000% best to celebrate the people on our team, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be where we are. So we have a lot of opportunities for our team to do things that maybe other companies, other smaller companies don't necessarily do. On an annual basis, every November, we do an MVP Pays It Forward program
Mm.
where we give our team the opportunity to pay things forward, submit a request of what they would do with $50 to $100 as a pay it forward, and then the winners get to actually act that out. Every
Mm.
year we do an MVP summer camp, and we have a MVP Gives Back program where we have a volunteer. They have opportunity to do volunteer work in exchange for PTO. And because of that, like we've been named best place to work for the last 3 years. So we really strive to be a great place for team members to grow and learn as well. So
I love that. We 100% support that. You know, having a good workplace makes or breaks everything about a company and especially the people who work for an organization. I love the fact that you just mentioned that. This is absolutely the platform to share that going
and
forward.
our clients get the benefit of that because happy employees make happy clients, and
100%.
happy clients make happy employees, and happy clients make a happy me.
Yeah.
So we do that, build that from the ground up. And our commitment to our clients and our team is to be the best us that we can possibly be for both of them.
Yeah, that's incredible from what it sounds like. Now, going into 2025, what are some of your goals over the next 6 to 12 months as far as like revenue, performance milestones? What does that look like going into this year?
Absolutely. So this year, our our goal is to get back to 1 million in revenue. We had dropped slightly over the past couple years. 2020, we were poised to do our best year ever. We were poised to do 1.4 million. That was amazing. We all know what hit.
Yep.
And with that, clients started to pull back. And so our revenue goals were not where it was. 2021, 2022 started building that back up. We fell just shy of 1 million last year, and we're on pace to break 1 million this year. And my goal for next year is to 10x that, but have at least a 500,000 in growth.
Phenomenal. What do you feel like you were to like look at everything as a founder? What do you feel is like the core bottleneck as far as the arms of the business? Is it like the lead gen, the sales process, delegating sales, expanding that? What does that look like for you as far as the focus?
Getting clients more aware of who we are and what we can do. Even though we've been in business for 15 years, we're still not one of the companies that get named in this space.
Okay.
And so that's my goal, is to build that brand awareness as well, so that when people ask, who should we hire for a virtual assistant? Our name comes up. Milrich Virtual Professionals
Mm,
comes top of mind. And same with the scheduling services.
mm,
So we work with a lot of large financial companies. And so while there we are top of mind, I want to be top of mind everywhere. And I think with that, that will bring in more leads, which will then bring in more sales. And it's just that nice kind of trickle
yeah.
to turn into kind of that deluge of leads and contacts coming in.
Yeah. So creating a lot more of that top of funnel awareness so that essentially whoever you reach out to, agnostic of whatever industry it is, because I know a lot of your focus is on the financial services sector, they know who you are. And is this like an area where you as a founder, you feel like you need some new ideas, new perspectives, or it's like it's an active work in progress?
It's definitely an active work in progress. And I'm really hoping our new marketing director will be able to start shining more of us in that space. So if we're reaching out to PR firms, or rather more publications, so to speak, getting us more out on a national basis to places, and having platforms such as yours to be able to talk about our business.
Yeah. 100%. Getting the word out there, showing a lot more of what you do, who you are, the grassroots. I love it. Now, before we do wrap up, any last piece of advice you would offer to our listeners today, the entrepreneurs, the founders looking to follow in your footsteps, and they're looking to start a business after maybe even being laid off from a job or leaving a job and they're on the fence?
Absolutely. So that's twofold. So the first part of that, I'd like to say, for those people who are maybe considering a virtual assistant or some additional support, one of the things I hear often is, I don't have the budget for that. I don't have the time to think about that. By hiring that virtual assistant, you're going to free up that time, and it's going to help your budget, because a lot of times we are a contractor for you. So you do a 1099 with us. You
Mm,
can talk to your tax professional for the benefits of having that. But we can start with as little as 1 to 2 hours a week. You don't need to have a large budget in order to get started.
mm,
Now, on the starting a business side of things, there's a couple things that I really wish I would have known
mm.
when I was first getting started. So first off, the first thing is just do it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? By no action, you're not going to be any different from where you currently are. Take action, and take massive action. But what I really wish I knew more about was the business finances. So I got cocky.
Okay.
About 4 years in, we were doing really well, and I had the opportunity to buy a competitor. And I was like, let's do it. Bought the competitor. But because of that, I had to take out a loan in order to do. And unfortunately, for a period of time following that, I was on that loan cycle.
Mm,
And that, once you get on that hamster wheel, it's very difficult to get off of it. And so I wish I would have had more advice around that area of, is this really worth it? The pros and the cons. Look at your bottom line down the road. What kind of impact is that going to make? So I recommend to any person who's interested in starting a small business is to take some business finance courses, workshops, any local training from your SBSD. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, 100%. Financial literacy is so important, especially as an entrepreneur. And a lot of times that emphasis is missed, right? A lot of them don't focus on that until they're in the weeds with their fulfillment and they're thinking about how can I keep up with my fulfillment and scale in a manner that is financially going to allow me to stay afloat? So I think that's powerful.
Yep.
On that note, that wraps up an inspiring episode of Founders Future. Melanie, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story with us today, from really taking a lot of your experience in the corporate space and applying it now to your business, and now scaling 10x. You're in the program now. We're excited to see the journey and hopefully follow along going into the latter half of 2025. To our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And you can also connect with Melanie and explore a little bit more of her services at milrichvirtualprofessionals.com, or follow her on LinkedIn. We'll tag her profile in the show notes below. And for more resources and insights, you can visit us over here at closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses scale and accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing and sales systems. So until then, everyone, keep climbing, and we'll see you all on the next one.